Hi, welcome to Everything Embedded. Welcome to the second part of the video. Please make sure to watch the first part, as that explains the basic of what I am trying to do. Well, the main theme is I'm trying to create snakes and ladders, graphical snakes and ladders in Qt C++. So I'm currently implementing it for the desktop, but eventually we will take it to maybe to the mobile version as well. But for the timing, it is for the desktop. And the idea is to make a graphical snakes and ladders with animation and maybe some sounds and some other fancy stuff. So yeah, so if you are interested as to how such thing can be done, even if you want to learn with me, yeah, please make sure to join me. I'll really appreciate that. And if you have any comments, any suggestions, or if you have any questions, please put it in the comments below. And as I said, please make sure to watch the first part. This is the second part of the video. And so it's around 11 in the night. So I spent a day today. I thought, okay, I'll make it a bit more interesting now. So I have progressed where I thought I can make a video about it. So I've reached a logical point where I thought, okay, I can check in the code to my GitHub repository and see if I can. So as I said, this is just a work in progress, and eventually things will keep changing till I achieve the look which is good, right? So what is in this version of Snakes and Ladders? What exactly have I implemented? Well, let me zoom on to the board now. So as you can see, our cute knight, now once the game starts, he stands idle or at the first square, at the first position. And so I'll describe the problems as well. What are the problems which I have faced and which I am facing, and where I am stuck, and how to solve that, and what kind of research. Maybe as if you are planning to write your own version, you may find it easier, or if you have solutions, you may already have done something on that, you can always share it with me. So as first you see the board. Well, typically when we write our code in C++, we draw our boards from the top. So from left to right, we draw our boards. And but if you see the board of a snakes and ladder, it starts, at least the numbering starts from the bottom, and it alternates between the rows. So for example, here you have 1 to 10, and then 11 to 20 goes in this direction, and then 21 to 30 in this direction, and 31 to 40 in this direction again. So you see, it's like a snake. The numbering is like a snake itself. And so that was some interesting bit. And how to keep a track in the code, how to keep a track of which square is which, because remember, what you are drawing is completely different than what you are handling inside. So that kind of challenge was there. Which square is where, and which square to go to. I'll explain the problem, and maybe that will make you think as well, and hopefully, as I said, it might help you just in case. So if you look at the, so what I did was, so of course in the final version there will be some fancy animations where we have this big button called as roll dice. So for test purposes, I have a spin box here. So you can say, okay, I want to move by one position, or 2 positions, or 3 positions. So for example, I can say move by 2 position. So I'll increase, and if what it should do is the knight should just move by 2. So 1, 2, it should land up on 3. So if I click on here, so that's where it's, and it has landed on 3. So let's say move by 3 positions. So 4, 5, 6, it should end up here. So it has end up here. And what if I say move by 1 position? So it should go back to 7. So as you can see, now I can control it by a number as to how much I want it to move. So if I say again move by 2, so it moves and it again goes back to the idle state. So it animates, it moves while, so okay, let me move by 1 position. So you can see it walks and then it stands at the idle position, if you notice it carefully. So I'll say roll. So it moves and it goes back to the idle state. When I say idle state, it is actually animating. As you can see, it is moving. It is still moving while it is at the idle state. Well, so these kind of things have to be taken care of. These are very minor things, but this is what is the job of a computer programmer, is to implement these minor things. So nothing is automatic. As you know, it is C++. We write our own stuff. And yeah, so now this is the first row. Well, I mean, I'm yet to implement the logic, what happens, how to make it jump to the next row and then make him walk in this direction, and how to control the ladder part, how to climb. And well, it is, I mean, yeah, it's a work in progress, but I will leave it for the next video. But this video was mostly, and yes, I think I forgot to mention that. So this is not a PNG image anymore. If you have seen my previous video, I was talking about how I used a PNG background image. So this is not a PNG background image. Everything is being drawn now using QPainter. So if you have not seen my previous videos, how I use Qt's QPainter class to draw boxes or rectangles or lines or other things, make sure to watch that one. So this is what I'm doing here now. So all the rectangles and everything are drawn by basically by my code. So you have the boxes drawn, you have the ladders drawn, and you have the snakes drawn as well. So the snake is a PNG file which I took from freepik.com, and that gets drawn on this board. The ladder is actually drawn using Qt's move to and line to methods, basically drawing the lines using QPainter. So that gives us finer control as to how we want things. So we don't want to just display a PNG image, because that's not going to be helpful if we are going to do our own animation and our own code. Because now, so for example, everything is random. The colors and although the position of the ladder is fixed now, as of now, but the colors and the square boxes, they are random. What do I mean by that? So for example, in this instance, it is starting with yellow and ending with green, for example. Let me close this, and if I launch it again, well, so in this version it's completely different. So now we start with a green box and it ends with a green box. So the idea is, each time you play the game, things will be different. So there could be multiple levels, so it keeps the gameplay interesting, and also it will compel the user to play the game again and again, because the game keeps changing. And eventually I plan to position of the snakes as well as the position of the ladders will also change. And as you can imagine, that introduces a lot of complexities now, because the ladder can be here, and also in this version my ladders are straight line. I don't have a diagonal ladders, because that is the part which I'm trying to figure out. So I implemented only the diagonal ladders, and so see, my ladders are straight. Still this code is being written. I mean, things will change visually, but yeah, as far as this was concerned, I was able to do that. So the snake positions are fixed now, but as I said, I mean, even that will change depending on the level. So I may introduce a concept of levels. So once you clear the first level, when you go to the second level and so forth, the number of snakes may increase, and the number of ladders may decrease, and some more fun element on the way in the squares. As I said, this is a work in progress. If you have any suggestions, yeah, please do give that. And see, if now let's go back to our cute knight. So it is standing idle state now. So it starts with standing in one position, but still animating. So if I move it by 5, I want the knight to move by 5 positions. I just click on roll. So here it is. So it has moved by 5 positions. And if I want to move it just by 1, I say roll dice. So yeah, so that part I have sorted out. So I'm planning to sort out for what happens for the other ones, and how to animate across the paths and all that. So yeah, so I think enough for this demonstration. Let us have a quick look at the code to see if it is of any help to you. I will is there anything else which I want to talk about in this version? No, as I said, I mean, I think I've already explained. about the boxes, the custom drawing and all that. Let's look at the code just to give you more idea, right? So yeah, so the first thing first is, I have a method, I have a class called cell, which holds the properties of each square. So currently it is empty now. So that is what eventually will hold what is inside each cell, and that will be used. So what about the scene, the Qt scene class? Well, that's where all the magic is happening. And yeah, so I have two timers now. So there are two timers in the class. One is the timer for the idle state. Other one is the a timer to move the player. So what exactly is idle state? Well, idle state is again a series of animation which we just show, which is stored in the resource file. It's a PNG file which just shows that state when the knight is idle. And once we click on the roll dice button, the idle timer is stopped, and we start the move player timer. So as I said, I have two timers, and that one again is a different series of animation, but that actually increments the X position of the image. So it appears as if the prince is walking. Well, that is what it is. That is what is happening behind the scenes. All the timer stuff and other thing. I think this one is that. And anything interesting further on? Well, yeah, here. Yeah. So if you have seen my previous video, so in the main window class, this is where I create the rows or the squares. So they are just added to the scene. I just call the scenes add rect method. Well, as I said, this is work in progress and things will change. So basically the idea is I'm using the QGraphics scene, Qt's QGraphics scene class, which holds the rectangle item as well as the text items as well. And that's done and there's a method called as add snakes and add ladders. All they are doing is just displaying, as far as the snake goes, we just display the PNG files, which I have stored it in my resource, and they get displayed there. And the ladders is again a simple, it's again a path which gets added to the scene. The drawing part here will change. I will change, obviously these things are just temporary. So yeah, that was the bit in this one. Is there anything else interesting? Well, the ladder class is the one which implements the ladder shape, the ladder path, how to draw a ladder path. So that's all done in this method, create ladder path. So yeah, so it's just a method of calling move to and line tos, and then just drawing the planks in between. So all these ladders and everything are now drawn in our Q Painter, using Q Painters and move to line to methods now. So I am in the process of implementing the diagonal ladder part. So things are not working because you will have to change depending on the angle where's the ladders, the diagonal ladder, whether it is oriented left side or the right side, the angle changes, and that introduces further complexities in the formulas. So that I'm working it out. So hopefully that should be there when I reach a stage where, as I said, it is an interesting project. Hopefully if you guys are watching and you are interested, I'll just play it again really. As I said, the end effort is really worth it really, because I was searching on YouTube for something similar. I could not find it. So I thought maybe, it's a challenge to make such a game. And I may put it on the Mac's App Store as well, and also on the Windows Store. in the binary form. I mean, you can just download the game and play from there once it is in a state where I can complete it. My source code is on the GitHub repository, whereas I'll test this game once it is done and ready. And as I said, my channel is exactly for the same purpose. So if you have any comments or any suggestions, please do let me know in the comments section. I think I'll keep this video for end this video here, and I will see you shortly in the third part of Snakes and Ladders. So thank you very much for supporting my channel. Cheers. Bye bye.